Welcome to Dodgers Daily. I'm Casey Porter. I'm so glad that you decided to tune in. We have a great show for you today as our MLB Pipeline Dodgers Top 30 Prospect Series continues. This time on the Dodgers, number 11 prospect, Nick Frasso. Frasso came to the Dodgers in the trade. If you remember, the Dodgers traded away Mitch White and Alex DeJesus. In return, the Dodgers got Nick Frasso and Moises Brito. So that was a big trade. And last year, Nick Frasso, boy, he turned some heads. He's approaching 100 miles an hour. He didn't pitch a whole lot, but his innings weren't huge. But when he did pitch, he was very, very, very impressive. So we're going to get into all that, and we're going to talk Nick Frasso, the Dodgers' number 11 prospect. But before we do, just a reminder, fans, if you like this video and if you like this kind of content, go ahead and click that like button, leave a comment, tell all your friends about Dodgers Daily, become a subscriber. After you subscribe, turn on your notifications, click that notification bell. That way, every time that Dodgers Daily releases a new video, you will be notified and you won't miss a thing from Dodgers Daily. Dodgers Daily can keep growing and we can keep providing you content and videos like this in the future. Okay, let's not waste any more time. Let's talk the Dodgers' number 11 prospect, Nick Frasso. All right, here is Nick Frasso. You got him right, Chase?
Yes.
Okay, so Nick Frasso, first of all, he came over in the trade with Moises Brito. That sent Mitch White and Alex DeJesus. I loved Alex DeJesus. Shortstop, but I Tim Rogers and we always projected him as a third baseman. I think that's where he would have ended up as a Dodger, but he came over to the Dodgers with Moises Brito for Mitch White and Alex DeJesus. So tell us what you see here.
What I see is a tall, lanky, awkward-looking son of a gun. And I mean that
uncomfortable at bat, yeah.
And I mean that in the most respectful way possible. Because it's guys like that are extremely hard to hit due to how far they get down the mound, his reach, his whip. Golly, it reminds me. I don't even know what it reminds me of, to be honest with you. I was onto something and I lost it.
Yeah.
He's a tall, goofy son of a gun. But the way that he's able to, if you saw that curveball not too long ago, he can break it off really, really well. His fastball jumps on you extremely quick, and I'm guessing he's getting down to, release at 54 feet. If you consider how far down the mound he gets, he's taken away a lot. And I'm sure that. Do you know what is his velo?
His velo, he hit. I had him at 97 with my own eyes. I have heard that he's hit as high as 98, 99.
If he's been that high, man, that looks like about 106, and that's
no doubt.
That's not an exaggeration one bit.
That's why his stock has risen maybe more than any other pitching prospect of any organization anywhere.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not much of a spin rate guy. I'm not much of a numbers guy, but I'm curious to see kind of what those are because it could.
What'd you say, Chase? I'm sorry. I was reading Austin's last comment.
No, you're good. I said I'm not much of a numbers guy, but I would be curious to see what his spin rate is and things like that because I say 106, but heck, it could be 108, 109, depending on how fast that thing is, how quick he's getting it to rotate.
I don't know exact numbers, but I can tell you his spin rate is very good.
Yeah, he's really, really impressive. I think that you're going to see. I hope we're able to hang on to him, man. I really do. I think that he's going to be a very sought after guy.
Yeah. You're talking about trade scenario
yes.
Yeah. Well, the Dodgers have so many just unbelievably talented right-handers. I could go on and on and on and on about the great pitchers that the Dodgers have. From Nick Nastrini to Emmett Sheehan to the 5 rookies to this guy, Nick Frasso. And then you haven't even talked about the lefties like Alec Gamboa and Lyle Lockhart and John Rooney. And then the crop below them, I talked to Rob Hill, the director of minor league pitching for the Dodgers this last week. And he's like, man, it's insane how much talent, he's so pumped about that. But okay, another comment. Nick's an electric arm. Austin's got a chance to see him. Super impressive. Guarantee the StatCast data is unreal. I would agree with that. So, Alex DeJesus, you got to see him too. He's rooting for him. DeJesus has a double with Toronto so far.
Hey, I pulled up some of Frasso's 2022 stats. He had a 1.83 ERA in 16 starts, had 54 innings pitched, 76 strikeouts, and a WHIP of .93. Talk about some numbers. I mean, that's impressive. That is extremely impressive. Came out of Loyola. I always have a really hard time saying this. Loyola Marymount.
Yeah.
They were actually here in Stillwater not too long ago, and fortunately for me, Cowboys put a whooping on them. But they produce some really, really, really highly talented baseball players, and especially pitchers. I had the chance to go and catch a game on I don't remember what day it was, but to see that the arms that they rolled out with, they rolled out with several in one game, just because OSU can stroke, and then there's no question about that. But every pitcher that they seemed to put in was extremely, extremely good.
Yeah. Tomatley says, I don't know if this is accurate, but he kind of reminds me of Mark Fidrus, the Birdman. And I totally agree with that. And another guy in the system that I totally compare to Mark Fidrich is Cole Percival. If you just watch just kind of his mechanics and his quirky, just, the way that he reacts to success and failures and all those kinds of things, it's totally fun to watch. So I love the Mark Fidrich body-wise type comparison. I think that's a fantastic comparison for him. I think that hits home very, very well. So from a stuff perspective, Chase, you're the pitching guy. Tell us what you see here a little bit more.
I see a really, really high quality curveball. If you see how quick that thing breaks down and how sharp and how hard it breaks down, in a hitter's eyes, man, it's so hard to hit, because it seems like with that velocity coming at you, it breaks down so fast and so hard. Everything looks like a fastball until it gets about, I'd say, 10 to 7 feet in front of you. And all of a sudden, it's like somebody's just spiking a volleyball down. With how good that curveball is. Oh, guy lost a bat. Sorry. Does he have
just look at that guy hit. There's absolutely no load to it, and he's just trying to make contact. That tells you how this ball's getting on him fast.
Yeah, that's a very impressive changeup, by the way. Great changeup. Man, this guy gets me really, really excited.
Yeah.
He's
climbing, man. He's climbing the ranks, man. He's getting a lot of pub.
He has a whole lot of potential, man. And I guarantee that we see him in Oklahoma City. And when he pitches, you best believe I'm going to be sitting in the stands.
Well, hopefully you're going to be interviewing him. I'm going to send you over there and hopefully get an interview out of him.
That would be awesome. To look up to that 6'6" frame. That's a giant man.
Brubaker has a really interesting comparison to Molly. Got to get these guys to start talking to the baseball.
Oh, man.
Like the Birdman Mark Fidrus did. I love it.
I think that he would be a very fun person to talk to, in my opinion.
Hey, Austin, I'd be curious. Did you get a chance? Well, of course, this is the Loons uniform you're seeing here. Did you get a chance to see him? How many times did you? Boy, look at that changeup. Holy smokes. How many times did you get a chance to see him? Did you get a chance to sit behind him whenever he is pitching? I'd be curious to hear from Austin, because I know he made it a point to sit behind Gavin Stone and several others when he had a chance to. Then that fastball up in the zone. That's pretty good. So you have that change. There's the slider. So you just saw the fastball riding up in the zone. You saw the changeup with a little bit of fade, more tumble. Then you saw the really nasty slider. So, wow.
Yeah. Catcher can't even catch it. Man, and if you look at the way how violent and aggressive
look at that.
he is.
And then he adds depth to it with 2 strikes. That's what we were talking about with Pepio earlier. You have the smaller slider early to throw the strike, and then he adds depth with 2 strikes to make it look more like a curveball. I love that combination.
Yeah, the hitters look like they're having a really hard time. I haven't seen a guy step yet. But if you look, like I was saying, if you look at how aggressive and how violent he is with his hips and how he brings the backside through, so not only is he using his tall, lanky frame to help him out, but man, he is really firing the hips through, which is obviously leading to more velo. And I'm curious to see if he's been able to put on any weight, and if he has, man, that's going to jump in at 100 easy.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the effective velocity, because he's so long and lanky, because he gets down the hill, he's going to be releasing it a lot closer to the catcher than most guys. So if he does hit 99, 100, it's going to have an effective velocity that's 104, 105, 106, and that's not an exaggeration. So, okay, Austin says, saw him for one start in Lansing, right behind home plate. That's what I'm talking about right there. We have the best fans of any show on earth. Right behind home plate, one of the best pitching performances of the year, with Ryan as the piggyback, called up immediately afterwards. So, yeah, there you go. We have the best crowd in the world. Sat right behind him.
I will say this, and this is for any baseball fan. If you want to see how extremely talented these guys are, especially talking about pitchers, spend a little bit of extra money and sit right behind home plate. It's the best seat you're going to be able to get. And, man, to see the ball move, to see how hard it comes in, to see how hard it breaks, not only is it impressive as a pitcher, but when the hitters are able to make contact with that stuff, it's extremely impressive, and that gives you a really, really good perspective on what those guys are seeing and what they're able to do with the baseball.
Watch him drop there. Then he kind of comes behind his head with the baseball, so a hitter doesn't even pick up the release until it's almost out of his hand. So he hides the ball well too, which is another aspect. And Tomatley says, I read about the plus fastball, but I'm seeing the nasty with his pitches. Sheesh, no doubt about it. With the jerky delivery, with the deception as far as how he delivers the ball, and then with all the nasty stuff. This guy, I mean, he has it, no doubt about it. So there you have it. There's our conversation and our prospect feature on the Dodgers number 11 prospect, Nick Frasso, big right-handed pitcher, very, very, very talented, bright future. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Chase was able to join us. We had a good crowd, so we enjoyed it. We hope that you enjoyed it as well. Hey, before we get out of here, just one more reminder. If you like this video, if you like this kind of content, go ahead and click that like button, leave a comment, tell all your friends about Dodgers Daily, become a subscriber. After you subscribe, click that notification bell, turn on your notifications. That way, every time Dodgers Daily releases a new video, you'll be notified. You won't miss a thing, and Dodgers Daily can keep growing, and we can keep providing you content and videos like this in the future. And I want to thank you for tuning in to our MLB Pipeline Dodgers Top 30 Prospect Series. Hope you tune in to the next one in this series. And as always, go Dodgers.